to be. But welcome. We are thrilled that you are here today. Let's welcome everybody online as well. How about we do that? Glad all of you are joining in with us. Last week was a fantastic week. If you were not here with us, we had my wife on the panel, but also Leslie, along with John and Jessica and Ed and Pam. And what a powerful, powerful panel. I was talking with Leslie earlier this week. She was our single female on the panel, and I am not single, nor am I a female. So I just felt like everything she said carried so much more weight because she's actually in it. Like, I can say some things and you can go, oh, whatever, you don't know, and you can kind of dismiss me. But here's someone in that season and stage of life that was just speaking so much wisdom, so much strength. I was incredibly proud of her. I was proud of everybody on the panel. If you were not able to hear that last week, why don't you jump online or grab our app, and you can listen to every single message and catch up, because there were some truths that were shared that I think will really push all of us forward if we'll actually implement them, okay? So let's not just be hearers. Let's also be doers. You all with me on that one? You guys with me? Now, I do need you to know this. I want you to have ridiculously high expectations of today. Just like so high. Like the exact thing that you need, God's going to give you that exact thing today. I want you just to trust God for that. You didn't seem convinced of that. You didn't seem, that was kind of a patty cake, like, I don't know. I'm not asking you to have high expectations of me. I'm asking you to have high expectations of Him. When you will put your trust in God, I am telling you, He will meet you exactly where you are. If you have your Bibles, why don't you open up with me to Mark chapter 2. Mark chapter 2. We're going to continue with our Relationship Goals series today. Mark chapter 2. And we're going to begin reading in verse number 1. And I'm going to go all the way through here to verse number 12. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that He had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and He preached the word to them. Verse number 3, some men came, bringing to Him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Everybody say carried. Carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get Him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, He said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting there thinking to themselves, why does this fellow talk like this? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone? Immediately Jesus knew in His spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts. And He said to them, why are you thinking these things? Which is easier to say to this paralyzed man, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up, take your mat, and walk. But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins. So He said to the man, I tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home. He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone, and they praised God, saying, we have never seen anything like this. If you want a title for today's message, hopefully some of you are taking notes in your phone or you brought a notebook. We want a title for today's message. It is this: I can't help you with that. I can't help you with that. I was on Instagram, this is a couple of weeks ago, and Instagram can be incredibly encouraging sometimes. It also can be very demoralizing at times as well, but trying to use it for its positive. There was a post that a friend of ours did about my wife, and my wife's my favorite person, okay, in the whole wide world. I love her so much. So anytime someone says anything positive about my wife, I want to make sure I'm celebrating that as well. And anytime anyone wants to say anything negative about my wife, I'll cut you. So with that being said, there was this post. A friend of ours, she and her husband lead a wonderful church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And this church is called New Heart. And this family just became parents to brand new baby W. He's absolutely adorable. His name is Watson. And this is my wife holding him. So this is not our baby here. Though those of you first-time guests might not know this, but we have a baby that actually looks very much like that, except it's a girl. But anyway, so here's my wife. She's holding this baby. And yes, my wife looks beautiful. And yes, she's shining as she always does. But the words on this post I thought were so incredibly important. Jessica says of Onika, I am so thankful to have a barrier-breaking friend. And when she said that a couple of weeks ago, it literally jumped off the screen at me. And knowing where we're going to be going in our relationship series, I thought, man, this is really important. See, we've known Jessica since before she was married. Okay, so my wife and I are old. We've known her. She was probably 19 years old, 20 years old, maybe when we first met her. This is before she had a husband. As a matter of fact, my wife helped connect her to her husband, one of my best friends in all the world. And here, these two individuals are now married. Jessica was watching our oldest son, Parker, when he was like 2, and Parker's now 13 years old. We have seen her grow up into this amazing woman, and they have been wanting to have a child for some time. We're not able to get pregnant, and by God's grace, they have a new baby in their life. They adopted this precious, precious little baby boy, and he's in their home. And Jessica was thinking, maybe my life is supposed to stop now. Maybe now that I have a baby, everything's supposed to end. And this is all I should be focused on. And yes, we love babies here. And yes, we believe that they are a priority. And yes, we believe that they're called to be the next generation. But we do not believe that a woman's life now ends because she has a child. We believe that all the call and the plans and the purposes that God had on your life before the child ever came into your life, you actually still have those. Now, if you are a stay-at-home mom, that is totally fine. Matter of fact, it is awesome. That is commendable. That is fantastic. And God can use you in that season. Don't think that you're just going to wear your Lululemon all day long. And now your life is just all about your kids, and you forget about your husband, and you forget about your other kids, you forget about the neighbors next door to you, you forget about the people that you're supposed to share the love of Jesus Christ with. Your life is not over because you have a child. God gave you this child to position you to continue to fulfill the plans and purposes that He has for you. Now, Jessica here was wondering, now that I have a baby, is my life just, do I go into this box here? And yes, maybe there was a certain box for her, but Onika was helping her realize that the boxes are probably a lot bigger than you think it is. And you need some friends in your life that will tell you, no, that's too small. That's too small. Oh, no. This is what I think, and this is what I believe. You don't know anything, okay? You and I. We think we know how it ought to look, but you don't know exactly how it ought to look. Sometimes you need to have someone else in your life that will say, matter of fact, not sometimes, all the time, you need to have someone else in your life that is saying, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the call of God on your life, I'm looking at the gifts and the talents and the abilities that He's given you, and I recognize that you right now are praying too small, thinking too small, living way below the destiny that God has for your life. I came here today to stir some things up in your heart and in my heart, because I've been reading this passage of Scripture, and this guy and his friends have been messing with me. So you get to jump in on this. Here we discover that Jesus has come to His hometown, and it is a packed house. I mean, it's packed. You got to sit in the chapel. You got to park across the street. You've got to walk past a Domino's. You've got to worry about oncoming traffic. It is a packed house. You can't move in the lobby. You got to wait in line to get your coffee. Here It's a packed house. I like that Jesus was okay with a packed house, but still kept preaching anyway. I like that. So just so you know, we're okay with a packed house as well, but we're going to keep on preaching this glorious gospel. And he's preaching. The house is packed. Nobody can get in. And then the friends show up. Here's the first thing that I'd like you to write down if you are taking notes. Friends that carry. Are you a friend that carries? Are you a friend that carries? Because if you look at this passage of scripture here, you will see that the man was not where he needed to be. Okay, read it later this week. You'll see that Jesus is teaching, and the friends have to carry him to Jesus. That means he was not with Jesus. He was not next door. He was not in the room. He was at another place in the city, another place in the region, and his friends have to take him from where he is to where he needs to be. They have to take him from one spot to another spot. They have to take him from one place to another place. And I'm so thankful that these friends were willing to pick him up and carry him somewhere. The question that I would have for you and for me is, where are your friends taking you? Where are they taking you? Where, maybe even a better question, where are you taking your friends? Where are you taking them? Where are you taking them emotionally? Where are you taking them financially? Where are you taking them spiritually? What direction are you going with your friends? Because you can think that you're taking your friends a certain place. And then you ask them. And they tell you what they think about the way that you live your life. You ask your coworkers, and they tell you what they think about the direction that you are going. And you might find out that you're actually not carrying people to the place that you want to be carrying them. And you and I have to be faced with the fact that there's something that needs to be changed in my life. I'm so thankful that these friends were willing to carry him to Jesus. Where are you taking them? 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 Where are they taking you? Listen, I know some of us have friends that love the weekend, right? The weekend, not the band, but the weekend. Like Friday and Saturday. Matter of fact, Thursday night, it's like that's when it really gets started. And they are living their whole lives for Friday, living their whole lives for the weekend. And here they are wasting Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday just to get to a Friday. If you have friends and all they're thinking about is Friday, I'm telling you, you're missing out on a whole part of your life. God did not save you just for Friday. He saved you for every single day of the week. There's something he has for you every day. I love Sundays as well. I love that we get to come together. I love that we get to sing these songs. I love that we get to worship. I love that we open up the Bible together. I love that we serve our littles and our bigs. We got the babies. I love all of that is happening. But Sunday is not the end of the week. It's the beginning, my friends. This is us getting you ready to go into the world and to live your life for the cause of Jesus Christ. I need us to shake ourselves a little bit. I need us to wake up. I need us to get out of this monotonous, this cycle of just boredom and predictability, and I'm just going to live and die. No, you're not here just to live and die. You're here to make it on earth as it is in heaven. You are here on assignment. If God did not need you, you would not have been born. Okay? If you were irrelevant, you wouldn't need to be here right now, but you are here right now. You're breathing right now. You're hearing me right now. You're listening to me right now. I'm wondering, where are your friends taking you, and where are you taking your friends? A friend that carries. But also, you see here in this text, a friend that digs. A friend that digs. They show up with their friend. And this home here in Capernaum is not a 4,500 square foot house. This is not 6 bedrooms and 5.5 baths with a fireplace in the living room and 1 in the bedroom and a study and a gorgeous backyard. This is not that type of home. In Capernaum, the homes are a whole lot smaller. They're tiny. This is a studio apartment, if you will. So it's really, really small, and the way they would build houses is they would create this roof, and the roof actually is a place that people would sometimes sleep. They would sometimes work on their roof. So it was not some flimsy little roof. Okay, this was not like a couple of leaves thrown together. There are all types of branches. There's all types of thatch. There's all types of mud. There's all types of dirt. There's all types of beams. There's all this stuff up there so that it can support something. So the friends show up to the house and they go, there's no way to get in. Usually there were stairs that led up to the roof. So the friends grab a corner. I'm assuming there's 4 friends and all 4 of them are grabbing a corner, or there was one really strong friend and 3 weak ones. But regardless, they go up to the roof, and then all of a sudden they start they start digging. They start digging. They start digging. These friends, they start digging. They start getting their fingers dirty. They start getting their hands dirty. This is not the top of an RV, right, where you get to turn it. I've never been on top of an RV, but I'm assuming from the movies. You turn the wheel, then you open it up, but it's a nice little square. No. This is dirt. This is grime. This is messy. This is muddy. They're here. They're digging. Here's one of the things that I have discovered, and this is not just about young people, okay? Because I think millennials are getting a really, really bad rap. I think millennials are called by God for such a time as this as well, and are not interested in just living their lives for the weekend. But actually, I find that if you point them the right direction and give them something to live for, that millennials are willing to step up and be who God has called them to be. So no shade thrown on millennials here. So it does not matter if you're younger or if you're older. But what I have discovered in our generation, in this day and age, is people don't like to hang around long enough to let anyone dig in their life. I just discovered that we're too easily amused, and we change our minds so fast. So you won't even stay at the church long enough to allow anybody to dig. You won't stay in the relationship long enough to allow anybody to dig. You won't stay in your Bible long enough to allow God to dig. You won't stay on your knees long enough to allow God to dig. It's like, I want it quick. I want it now. As a matter of fact, if I don't, I got what I need from you, so now I'm going to move from you, and I'm going to move over here, then I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to move over here. And I appreciate people trying to position themselves perfectly, but there is a mindset that has slipped in to even the way we follow Jesus, is we are no longer allowing the grace of God to dig down on the inside of us, to uproot the things that need to be uprooted, so you and I can be the men and women that God has destined for us to be. I want some friends in my life who will dig. Who will dig. I want to be the type of friend that will dig, that I'll look at you and go, you know something, there's something more in you. I see God's hand on your life. I see that he's working in your life. I see that he's called you for such a time as this. Let's dig. If you want to be married, that means you're signing up to dig. Okay? Oh, I want to be married. I know. Oh, I'm going to get married in Hawaii, and I'm actually going to come in on a horse. It's going to be a white horse, and it's going to be so beautiful. And then my husband, he's going to take me off of the horse, and he's going to carry me to the altar. And I think that'd be beautiful. Go ahead and do it. Wonderful. You got the money? Make it happen. But if you don't want to dig, if you just want to have a ceremony, but you don't actually want to have a marriage, then you're not ready. You're not ready. Because if you want to be married, then marriage is. My wife has been working on me for almost 21 years. helping me become who God is calling me to be. I've been trying to serve her. I'm not talking you're doing this with anger. You're doing this with anticipation. You're doing it with joy. But will you allow any one time and space in your life? Will you jump in a connect group? Will you be on a team so that people can actually know your name, hear your story, you can hear theirs, and you guys can walk and do life together? Or do you just want to live on the surface, kind of come in, come out, check in, check out, and that way no one has to hold you accountable to the plan and the purpose that God has on your life? Dig, 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 dig. He's got some friends here, and these friends are just, they're on the roof, they're on the roof, they're just going at it, they're just going at it, they're just going at it, they're just going at it. So not only do I see here a friend that carries, and not only do I see here a friend that digs, I also see here a friend that positions. A friend that positions. Think about this. Jesus is in the house. He's teaching, and there's 5 guys on the roof scratching at the roof. I don't know what tools they brought with them. I have terrible tools, okay? I have the type of tools that people look at and go, oh, are those Dora the Explorer type tools? That's what my toolkit looks like. They're terrible. Ben came over our house not too long ago to help with our sink because I'm not a handyman at all. And I brought out my toolkit to Ben. He just giggled at it because it's terrible, okay? It's terrible. With you and I, and looking at this story, here they are on the roof, and I don't know what tools they came with, but they're there, and they're just digging and digging, and Jesus is in there teaching. He's preaching the word. I don't know that he's doing it like this, but it seems to help my story a little bit more. Okay, so Jesus is teaching. And he's just sharing the message of, he's sharing his message. The kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. He's here preaching the word. People are listening. The house is packed. It's hot in there, but he's still. And on the roof, you hear. He doesn't stop. Crying babies, doesn't matter to Jesus, okay? People leaving, doesn't matter. Hot room, doesn't matter. He's... Can't understand what they're saying, but you're like, man, something's going on. Dust falling down from the... He keeps on teaching, keeps on teaching, keeps on teaching, keeps on teaching. These friends, eventually they get a hole in the roof. We get I wish the Bible would give us some details on what was going on here. The gospel writer tells us nothing. Like, people are like, he's teaching, he's just teaching. All of a sudden, where'd they get the rope? Okay. Yeah, you got, yeah, okay. Here comes a guy. Slow elevator. He's there. What's up? What's up? Put yourself in the story. Here are some friends. I love this about them. I love this. They are actually willing to put their friend in the right spot and not try to put themselves in the right spot. You have friends here that are not looking for the spotlight to be on them. They are okay with the spotlight being on someone else. This paralyzed man has friends that are saying, I'm okay if you get married before me. I'm okay if your company gets off the ground. I'm okay if you make more money than me. I'm okay if you fulfill the plans and purposes of God on your life. I'm okay if you step fully into who he called you to be. I'm not going to try to keep you from your position. I'm actually going to try to help you. I'm going to do everything in my power to put you exactly where you are supposed to be. That's the type of friend that I want to be. I wonder I wonder, are you and I those types of friends? Or we just like, well, I'm praying prayers for me. I'm praying prayers for my ministry. I'm praying prayers for my life. I'm praying prayers for my journey. I'm praying prayers for my destiny. I'm praying prayers for me. How come you're not helping me? How come you're not helping me? How come you're not helping me? But these friends are like, hey, I'm done with me for right now. I've got a friend that has something that they can get from Jesus. So all I'm going to do is position them exactly where they need to be so that Jesus can give to them what I want Jesus to give to them, and I'm going to have all the hope, all the life, all the strength. I'm going to give everything I possibly can to position my friend where they're supposed to be. And here's what's fascinating. Here's what's fascinating about when you and I live this type of life. When you and I are the type of friends that position other people where they are supposed to be, when we put them face to face with their destiny, when we put them in position to fulfill the plan and purpose of God that God has for their life, it is fascinating that Jesus in this story, the gospel writer tells us that Jesus sees their faith. He looks at the friends. Do you know, the Bible does not tell us that the friends said anything. The Bible does not tell us that they spoke any words. All we have is what they did. And when Jesus saw their action, he saw their action and he said, that's faith right there. Not only do we want to be a friend that carries and a friend that digs and a friend that positions, but we need some friends that have some faith as well. You need some people around you that will believe God for miracles. You're going to have to clap better than that. You're going to have to clap. You need some friends that have some faith. You need some friends around you that will see a bleak situation and just not tell you that it's bleak, but they will speak the word and the purpose of God over that situation. If your marriage is falling apart, do not go to some friends that will tell you how bad your marriage is. You already know how bad your marriage is. What you need to be reminded of is that God brings dead things back to life. What you need to be reminded of is that your bonehead husband can turn around for the cause of Jesus. What you need to be reminded of is that your wife does not have to stay like that forever. So go get some friends that are filled with some faith and will speak faith into your situation, that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask, think, or even imagine. Do you have some friends that can speak some faith into your life? Some friends are like, no, we got you. We're going to put you right there in front of Jesus. And once you get in front of him, he is the right one to fix every bit of brokenness that you have right now. Jesus saw their faith. When he saw their faith, he goes, all right, I can do something with this. I can do something. Are your friends, are you in an environment that God even has anything to work with? Like the conversation that you're having. I'm so, Coachella was awesome, right? Beyonce doing all her dance moves. Wonderful. Go ahead. Enjoy that, okay? Hey, maybe you like what's going on with the NBA Finals. Man, wonderful. Go ahead. Talk about that. Hey, maybe you enjoy talking about what happened with South Korea and North Korea. I think that's great. Talk about that as well. Maybe you love the stock market. Great. Talk about that too. But do not let all your conversation just be about the headlines of the day. At some point in time, you need some friends around you that will begin to speak some faith into your heart and into your life. Friend that carries will take you from where you are to where you need to be. Friend that will dig. Friend that will position you. Then some friends filled with faith. So now Jesus, he's talking. This guy is now hovering. Hovering in front of Jesus. The friends, oh, we got him. Jesus turns to the guy and says, hey, Your sins are forgiven. I wish I had time to really unwrap this. Okay, I don't right now because I got some other things I got to get to, but I got to touch on it. Give me 90 seconds to touch on this right here. Jesus says to the man, your sins are forgiven, but the friends did not come there. The man didn't come to get his sins forgiven. He can't walk. I appreciate the whole sin thing. I'm here. I'm here for my legs, okay? I think what Jesus is saying here, I mean, he's saying a whole bunch of things, but one thing for sure that he is saying is right now, spiritually, you can't walk, and I have the ability to fix you spiritually, to have you stand up spiritually, and you think it's a physical issue. It's not a physical issue. It's actually a spiritual thing that is going on here, so I'm speaking to what's on the inside of you, but not only do I have the power to fix what's going on the inside of you, I actually have the power to fix what's going on the outside of you as well. And all of the people in the room go, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's this guy talking about? He's blaspheming. You can't forgive. You can't forgive. Jesus goes, okay, set you up. What's easier? What's easier? Forgive sins or say get up and walk? The Bible here says, I think it's the second half of verse number 8. The Bible here says Jesus knew what they were thinking. Now, this is really good news for some of us and really bad news for some of us as well. He knew what they were thinking. Here is Jesus in the room, okay? Well, watch this. In the room, Jesus is sitting there. He's teaching the word, okay? He's teaching the word. He's establishing his kingdom. He's letting them know the kingdom of heaven is here. Here are people in the room hearing what Jesus is saying. The people on the roof, they are hearing from the same Jesus. And one group of people is filled with doubt, and the other group of people is filled with faith. Here you have people hearing the same message in the same room, hearing the same word, and one person is hearing it and it's showing up as doubt, and the other person is hearing it and it's showing up as faith. Why? It's because of how they were thinking. Why are you thinking these things? Why are you thinking that God can't use you at the age you are right now? Why are you thinking being black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native American? Why are you thinking being able-bodied, or maybe you're not able-bodied? Why are you putting these parameters on yourself? Who said that you can't go any further? Who said that you can't step fully into who God called you to be? Who said you have to stop where you are right now? Who said you can't dream any bigger? Who said you can't go back to school? Who said you can't start the company? Who said? Why are you thinking these things? Why are you thinking these things? And here, these religious leaders are going, oh, well, we've got a box. We've got a box that we want to put everybody in. So since we have a box, this is the box that everybody goes in. Jesus goes, I'm kicking down boxes. And I just felt like today he was trying to come in and kick down boxes, remove roofs off of our lives. So now you have this Jesus. And he's talking to these folks, and he turns to the man, and he says to the man, I want everybody to know what's going on. Get up, take your mat, and go. Get up. It's like Jesus is saying, attention, attention. Rise up right now. Stand up right now. I'm telling you right now, get up right now. Do you see that the man does not negotiate with Jesus? Let me pause on this for just a second. Do you see that the man does not negotiate with Jesus? Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry, I haven't walked in a while. I haven't walked in a while, Jesus. Okay, it's been a long time, and you tell me to get up. So since I haven't done it for a while, can you just give me a few? it's like we've given ourselves permission to negotiate when really it's just disobedience, right? Really, that's what it is. But we just kind of put it in a different wrapper. I'm working through things. When Jesus said, get up, 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 get up. I like that the man did not say, Jesus, wait. I'm not comfortable doing this in front of everybody. Jesus, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it, Jesus. If you have everybody close their eyes and maybe have everybody leave the room, Jesus, will you please bend your will to my will? Will you please bow before me instead of me bowing before you? Jesus, can you please do this on my terms? And if you do it on my terms, Jesus, then I'll do it. Here is this man. And Jesus tells him, get up. And the man, I like him, gets up. Now, when he gets up, Jesus does not say just run out. He says, take your mat. Take what you have been laying on. Take what's been supporting you. Take your excuses, take your lies, take your disappointments, take all your reasons, take all of that and remove that as well, because where I'm calling you to go, you can't carry the same excuses and the same lies to the place that I'm trying to take you. So what I need you to do is I need you to get up, but I need you to remove this thing. Man, I'm praying for a church. I'm praying for a church that won't just get up but keep carrying all the same baggage. I'm praying for a church that will get up and also say, Jesus, everything else I've been holding on to that's been an idol in my life, every lie that I've been believing, every prejudice that I've had against myself or against anybody else, any mindset that I've had that has hindered me or kept me captive. Jesus, I am asking you to give me the grace and the power not to carry that thing with me for the rest of my life, but to remove that thing from my life so I can go and be who you call me to be. Get up. Get up. It's time for you to get up. Quit with your excuses. Man, I've been in this one. This is on a personal note. I've been in this, okay? I feel like God's been challenging me. Earl, why are you thinking that, Earl? Why do you believe that, Earl? Why can't I do more than what you're seeing right now? Why can't I? Well, I just haven't seen. Because you haven't seen it, that means I cannot do it? Here is the God of heaven standing in front of this man saying, get up, take up your mat, and you go. I like this man because back in the day, I used to think that he was pulled to Jesus against his will. Like the friends kind of grabbed him, like, hey man, you're paralyzed. We heard about Jesus. Come on. And he's like, no. But he can't fight with them. Although he just, he's punching, but he can't. They're like, no, you're with us. You're with us. We got you. And they had him tied down. They brought him up to the roof. I kind of saw it that way. But I actually don't think that. I actually think this man was in on the whole thing. I think he was ready for his miracle. I think he was a type of guy that was ready and willing to respond. And the only reason I think that is because whenever Jesus told him to do what Jesus told him to do, he actually did what Jesus called him to do as soon as Jesus told him to do it. It was as if he was waiting for his moment. Jesus, if you give me the word, Jesus, if you open the door, Jesus, if you give me the opportunity, Jesus, if you open up a chance, then what I will do, Jesus, is I'll jump right up and I'll go where you're calling me to go, and I'll do what you're calling me to do, and I'll be who you're calling me to be. The friends were able to carry him. The friends were able to dig for him. The friends were able to position him. The friends were even able to have faith for him. And then Jesus was able to even speak to him and heal him. But no one could get up for him. No one could get up for him. In order for him to get up, he had to ride all of the digging and all of the carrying and all of the faith and all of the positioning, and he had to hold on to the words of Jesus, and then he had to respond to what Jesus was doing in his life at that moment, and he would have no other excuses because Jesus gave him everything that he needed, and his friends set the table for him. There's some things that only you can do. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else, blaming everybody else, giving all these reasons. Forget the reasons. The God of heaven is trying to grow you into who he's calling you to be. Last verse, I'm done. Verse number 12 says, the man got up in full view of them all. Had to risk failure in front of everyone. But now he's walking in front of everyone. And why? What happened? Everyone began to praise God. It wasn't even about the man in the first place. It was all about Jesus making it clear to everyone around him that he was here and he was the Son of Man, the Son of God, ready to establish the kingdom and the work of God. Your promotion is not even about you. You get to stand up, but really it's so people see you walking and go, there must be a God. That's why you staying on your mat does no one else any favors. All you're doing is actually, and all I'm doing is hindering the praise of God coming from the mouths of people that God is trying to reach. So now I'm just saying, God, my whole life is yours, okay? Whole life. I'm already uncomfortable, so I might as well just be utterly uncomfortable. You've already put me up in front of these people every week, and I'm standing in front of them, and they're looking at me sometimes like I'm bald, and they're looking at, but I am, and they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? I get that, I get that, but Jesus, I don't care what the people look like. I don't care what they say. I don't care what the Instagram, I don't care about, Jesus, all I want is for people to look at my life and to see me walking, and for them to think about your glory, your name, your fame, and I want them to be pointed to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Church, do you want that as well for your life? Allow him to work in you in ways you never.
We are so honored to have you joining us today. Hopefully, you've been inspired to make it on earth as it is in heaven. For more information, please visit our website at shorelinecity.church.